Hello, everyone. Today we are going to work on Lily Munster. I did a little YouTube post a while back where I asked who you wanted to see next, and most everybody said Lily, so that's who we're going to do. Now, as far as a lot of the merchandise, they put her in a pink dress, and I like this purple color. Sometimes it's purple, sometimes it's pink, and I want to go for the purple. This is actually some fabric that I got to make a real Lily Munster costume, and I never have got it made, but I am going to use a little piece of it um, to do that for her. It's actually some curtains that I had got because I thought it would make the perfect Lily Munster outfit. But this is like a little, it's kind of sheer, and you can see her little yabos through there. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use this little pale pink fabric, and then it's going to be like a lining to the purple. So I think that's going to give it a nice look. So it's kind of putting in the purple and the pink together, and I think that's going to make a really nice look for the outfit. And for the hair, I've got this Lily Munster wig that I'm going to use. I think I can snip a little bit out of that to make her hair. And I was going to use the yarn like I always do, but the yarn that I've got is not the right kind. Some yarns you can comb it out, some of it you cannot comb it out, and I don't have any that's combable. And then I also don't have any that's like this jet black color. But I think if I could make it focus on what I'm doing instead of the background, I think that's going to look pretty good once it's on her. And then it's also got the white part, so I can make her little white streaks. So that's what we're going to use for the hair. And then I'm going to let you get a good look at her. Um, and then I'm going to go off camera to just paint her face. So let's check her out how she looks now. And here's what she looks like right now. I got her hair cut off, and I really like her eyes. I think I'm going to try to leave the eye color. I'm going to try to just paint around the eye. If not, I can just redo them, but I really like how this doll's eyes are done. But I just snipped her hair off, and then I went up in there and pulled out the little pieces that I couldn't get cut with these tiny little tweezers. So I got that all cleared off. And back in some of my characters that I did when I very first started, is I would just cut it off and leave all these little short pieces around here. But I've got to where I like to take it completely off. It just gives it a much nicer little smoother, I guess, canvas to work with. So it's so nice to get all that off of there. Really good. So anyways, I'm going to go get her painted, and then we'll check her out. All right, so let me show you what I've gone with. So I've done like a peach color and some white and this little bluish green. It says Key West. It's hard to tell if it's blue or green, and I kind of like that. And I tried to go around the eyes, but it was almost impossible. But I kind of went over that with a brush with that color I wanted, and then I didn't have her green enough, so I picked up some more of that green blue color. It's got one coat on it already, but I put that on there, and then I took a softer brush, a really, really soft brush, and I may not have to do it again, but I had to take that one softer brush because there was so much paint on it that I just used that one to kind of lift off some of that paint. And it's really thick and gloppy, and you can really see the brush strokes in there, so I want to make that look better. So maybe going over that again with this will be good. And I don't care if she looks a little splotchy, because her skin tone was, it's, with all the characters, it was mainly just on their faces. Like, you could see her neck at times was not really painted like the rest of her body. So that's kind of how we're going to be here. We're just going to keep her a flesh tone body, just like we did with Eddie Munster. Sometimes her arms and stuff was painted. Sometimes I noticed it was not. Um, but I think it'll be okay because it's going to be kind of covered for the most part. But I think I've got it to a color that I like. It looks like I might have a hair in it right there, little paintbrush hair. I think I got it. But I think that looks okay. Once I get the eyes and everything painted, I think that'll be good. So I'm going to do that, and then we'll come back and do, I think the outfit would be easier before I get all that long hair going down the back, because that'll be a pain to work around. All right, so here's her little face, and I kind of like it. Now, I don't know how everybody else is going to react to it, but I think she turned out pretty freaking cute. I did a little weird shading on the sides of her jaws, but, it's hard to paint this kind of little tiny detail, but it is what it is. I think she turned out pretty darn cute in the best way that I could get her done. But now for the dress, I've got this square. I've folded that over into a triangle, and I think I'm gonna do it kind of like this. I'm gonna snip up through here, and I mean, I'm just totally winging this, making this up as I go. I'm gonna clip it a little neater than that. All right, let me cut that better. All right, so I got a cleaner cut on that, and that's gonna go, it's gonna be just a straight little thing here. And then I'm gonna cut down this side. All right, now I'm gonna cut the bottom. I don't know why. I don't know why I just made a triangle and done all that. I could have just folded a little long piece over. So that was a big waste of time, but I was just playing with the fabric, so I don't know. All right, so I want to, I'm not gonna hem this. I'm not gonna hem it or anything. I'm just going to, see, I think her face is kind of cute in a way. I like her little bottom eyelashes, and I had to get under a magnifying glass to do that. But anyway, let me see. I'm just trying to think of this as I go. Let me do my little thing. I do fold it, put it right in the middle, and decide where the shoulder is. Right about there. And then it needs to go right under the arm. So I bring it right up like that, and hopefully I might need to come down a little lower. Alright, now that's looking pretty good. That'll go under there. And then it's just like a little piece across the shoulder. It's pretty wide neckline. So I'm going to take out just a little bit to start with, and I'm going to keep the back high, and then fold it this away and give her a square neckline, or a square front. I don't know how low to bring it, so I'm going to be real careful. And I'm just totally doing this on camera, where I normally go off camera. But okay, let's see if that does it. I think that's pretty good. That's pretty good without going too low. Now, she does show some cleavage. I mean, I was watching a couple episodes, and she is really busty. But that looks pretty good. So I'm going to do basically the same thing with the, her little face is so cute. I'm sorry. I hope everybody else likes it, because I'm thinking it's so good. I was so nervous trying to get that painted. And every time I look at her, I think, oh, I did pretty decent on that. But where's the bottom of this fabric at? All right, so I'm going to basically do the same thing with this, but I'm going to make it really, really huge down in this part, because it's going to get gathered up. So I need enough to gather it up, and then I want it to be really flared out, because her dress was kind of full, but it hung straight down. But I'll have to see how this fabric lays. It might puff out more like a ball gown. I don't want it doing that, but I'm going to try to just see what I can do here. All right, so let me look at this. Let me get this part cut off, because I don't like that little finished edge that's on there. Now let me mention my favorite movie, of course, is The Wizard of Oz. My favorite cartoon is Scooby-Doo, and my favorite TV show would be the Munsters. And I have been thinking for a few months now, who do I like better, the Munsters or Bewitched? And I've watched a little bit of both, and all along I thought it would be the Munsters, and it is. I mean, I just love the Munsters. Every time I rewatch that, I remember why I like it so much. I'm just absolutely wild about it. And of course, my favorite cartoon is Scooby-Doo. And if my favorite movie wasn't The Wizard of Oz, it would definitely be Hocus Pocus. But I'm just looking at this, trying to figure out, like I said, I kind of want it the same. This purple needs to be pretty much the same right in this area. So I'm going to get right close to that and cut that out pretty close, maybe just a bit bigger. Just kind of cut around that, but I'm going to go off camera so I can cut that as neatly as I can. Okay, so let me see. I know that ain't exactly perfect, but this is like the awfulest little thing. My stuff looks so crappy until it's all put together, and then it looks pretty decent. But I don't know how much I'm going to love that. I think it'll be okay. That just looks really crude. But we'll hide the crudeness with little decorations that's going to go on it later. Let me see. I can tell. I just want to get this part perfected and get this cut the way I want it real quick before I go into it. All right, so I don't even know what side's supposed to be what here. Okay, I think it goes that way. So that's kind of the same. Now this I'm going to leave because I'm going to gather that up later. So I'm going to actually sew this down the side over here and over here. So I'm going to do that, and then we're going to go ahead and put it on Lily. All right, so I actually, instead of sewing it down the sides, I just used a little bit of tacky glue to put it together. And then I did the same on this. And so I've got her little slip on, and let me see here. I'm going to slip this one down on her, and my phone battery is low again, so I'm going to have to kind of do this part quick. But I'm just going to, if I could get it on her. Oh, there's a little thread her hand was caught on. Alright, I don't know why that ain't going down. There it goes. Alright, so that looks pretty cute. Let me see here. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a thread that's, of course, kind of the same color, and I'm just going to gather this up right around here. And goodness gracious, I wish this would focus where I'm working. I'm going to just gather that up right there and make like a little gathered area here. It's going to take a stitch close to the top and then a stitch a little bit lower below her little breast area to make like that little design that it has. And instead of me trying to explain it, I'll just do it and then let you see it. Alright, so what I've done is I've got her little dress on, and as you can see, I've actually got two threads going. I've got one making this little top stitch, and then one making the little bottom stitch. And I've started here, I went around and stopped where I started, and then I'm just going to pull those little strings and make it gather that up all the way around, pretty much just pulling it to where it is tight around the doll. And then you'll have to pull this around to where it's even, and you're just going to work with it here a little bit, and got to get those straps back to where they go. And oh my gosh, it worked. All right, so there's kind of how it's going to look. I'm just going to sit here and fiddle with it and get it exactly gathered up the way I want it. And oh man, that's actually pretty cute, I think. But I'm going to sit here and get this done, and then we're going to decorate it with some ribbons and the little black details, and then see what we need to do here. Need to trim off some of these little threads. So to finish this bottom one off, I'm actually going to take my thread and I'm going to wrap it around all the way around, just to be doing it, and make it pretty tight to really cinch in her waist. And I'm just going to go ahead and use the entire thread that I've got on the needle. And then, well, let me back it up once. I'm going to knot it off here in the back, and then that'll just be plenty of extra thread to help keep that gathered around her waist, just in case of that little stitch breaks. But then when I put that little belt and stuff around, it's going to help provide more stability to keep it all held together also. And then one thing that I don't really love is you can see through that purple a little too much, and you can see her little slip. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make an extra little skirt to slide up and under this one, and then I think it'll be perfect. So now I've got two pieces pinned together so that they will hopefully come out looking the same. And I'm going to cut out a little wing, kind of like a little sleeve cape thing. I think this is just something that hangs off of her shoulder. I don't really think it's a cape, and it's not exactly a sleeve. I don't know what it is. And sometimes it was made different in some episodes, like one season it looked one way, and another season it looked a different way. So anyways, I'm just going to try to make two little things that look kind of similar. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to make something that'll hang from her shoulder. So I'm just trying to think of like a bat wing. Give it like a little ziggy zaggy thing. And this is not exactly what she's got going on, but it's just what I'm creating for my doll. And let's see here. I want it pretty thin right up here, because I'm just going to glue it on top of her shoulder. Alright, I don't know what I've done there, but let's see. Let me take out some here. And even though I've got it pinned, it's like they're totally not coming out exactly the same. They're close enough. Alright, so I'm kind of basically just going to pin that on her shoulder, one on each side, and that'll be her little, or I might do it this direction. I don't know what I'm doing, but it needs something there, because she's got these little, or maybe the way I had it before. I don't know. What am I doing? I have no idea. I'll figure something out, but I got to get something on her arms. So I'm going to do that, and then we'll work on the hair. Now I do need to take some of this little black ribbon, and there goes a fly, and put it around her collar also. So here is what we've got so far. I'm going to let you look at it from that far away. It looks so friggin' amazing. I mean, I kind of figured she would, just because I knew that fabric was like the perfect fabric. And I kind of went around the edge with a lighter just to singe the edges so they won't fray so bad. And you have to be very careful, because that fabric wanted to wrinkle up, but that actually made it look kind of good. You may not normally want your fabric wrinkling up like that, but it gave it the coolest effect. And I had to be super careful that I didn't burn a hole through the dress. But she looks amazing. She does have her little bat necklace on. I've just got it towards the back right now. So I'm going to throw some hair on it, and then I think she's done, and we'll check her out. Now, what I want to show real quick is I made this tiny little tool. It's like a needle, like a sewing needle, and I've kind of cut part of the tip off, and it can push the hair into the little holes on her head. So I'm going to root the white part of the hair, and I'm going to root a little bit of the black. I want to give her a little widow's peak. So I'm going to root a little bit right here around the forehead, and then the rest of it I think I'll just glue. Okay, well, before we do look at her, I do want to kind of show how I do the process of this. So I'm starting at the back, at the bottom, and I'm gluing a little bit of hair, and then I'm going to glue a little bit more and just keep layering it till I get to the top. And then again, I've got the top of it rooted so that it looks really good coming out of the scalp. So that's kind of the process that I'm doing. All right, Lord, don't even ask how I've done it, but I'm getting it and it's looking really good. I've been very lucky. Um, it's still in the process of being glued and the glue drying, and I'm still working on it, but man, does it look good. Um, but I've just about got her done. I've been using this little barbecue stick, which I laid over here. I can't grab it right at the moment, but here's another one. I've been kind of using this to brush that glue into those roots. Now again, some of that's pushed into the head, but some of this is just going to get glued down, and I'm just trying to comb it with the tip of this pointy little stick there. That's been helping a lot. All right, so before we check her out, I want to show these scissors that I keep meaning to show. Uh, Oh, it started raining. We have been getting a lot of thunderstorms, and that is so perfect for this series. It has been really helping me in the mood of the Munsters. But uh, yeah, these scissors are super cute, and I should have been showing those a little bit more, but I just wanted to show them off for this particular video because Lily is the perfect character to use these for. Of course, she's a vampire. And so, speaking of Lily, let's check her out. Boop. So, I absolutely love it. I think it is the prettiest character I've done so far. Now the arms, I got a couple of friends who thinks that I should try to brush a little bit of paint on the arms, but I know that plastic will not hold paint very well, so I would have to struggle with that through time with it scratching, and then it would drive me insane if there's scratches on it, and I wouldn't want to have to keep touching that up, so I'm okay with leaving it like it is. But I left her hair really long because I noticed in the show it's really, really long. It turned out really good. It was a little bit of a struggle to get that glued on there, but not too bad. I didn't struggle as much as I thought I was going to. I think her face is super cute. It's a little bit more rounded than what the actress's face is, but I think it looks pretty sweet. And then I took some really cute pictures of it that you'll see here at the end. Of course, I gave her. Let me stop it here for just a minute. I've give her some cute little purple shoes. They're sort of a metallic purple color. And of course, I painted the fingernails, and that necklace is like just a little charm that I had. And at first I thought it was too big, but I think it's okay for what it is. I mean, it's just like the perfect little shape of a bat. And I've just put that on a little silver chain. These little black ropes up here, or ribbon, I super glued those around her neck. And then I've just put one here as her little belt. And I'm just crazy about it. This is my favorite character. You know, we see a lot of them pictures of her with Morticia and Vampira. And of course, Lily's always my favorite. She stands out the most because I love that she's got some color to her. She's not just all black, she's got the purple. But again, this is my absolute favorite TV series. So, anyways, I am so happy with how she's turned out. Let's grab her little boy, Eddie. There's her little baby. Here is Igor, and there's Woof Woof. So that's everybody so far. I hope y'all have enjoyed this episode. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one.